Hi, everybody. This is One Less Thing, and I'm John.
And I'm Brianna.
And today, or now, or whatever, we're going to talk about Lost.
One of our favorite, well, probably our favorite television show.
You've said yours is Next Gen.
I know, it's so hard to pick. I have a lot of love for both.
Well,
but Lost is certainly up there.
You're going from episodic to a long-form story.
Right.
So it's different.
And I also have a whole lot more nostalgia for Next Generation because, I grew up with that versus Lost didn't come out till 2004? I
think so.
Okay. So yeah, I was out of high school.
And Next Gen was 87, I believe.
Yeah, and I was watching reruns at that point. So I was probably watching it around, oh God. I don't even know the year, but I'll say I was probably like 13 or something when I found it.
Well, with Lost, I didn't even watch TV. I watched Family Guy, maybe a couple comedies, but Lost was the first show that got me hooked. I got hooked. We both got hooked.
Yep.
Right at the beginning of season 2, maybe, because Netflix did rental service then.
Right.
Well,
they still do, but...
Do they?
Yeah, I think they... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can still rent discs. Nobody seems to use that feature anymore that I know about, but... God, we would go through those discs.
We went through...
like 4 episodes, and it would be that night, and we would just watch the whole thing and be like, oh my God, now we gotta wait like a week for the next disc.
Yep. I didn't watch any TV until that. And then I started watching, like, Bree got me into Star Trek. I didn't even watch Star Trek.
Yeah, nobody in our school ever talked about it or anything. So, we were together a long time before I even brought it up to you because, I don't know, I thought it had this...
geeky connotation to it.
Yes, exactly.
And it does.
Yeah. I was embarrassed.
But Lost got me, and from that I went on to continue watching TV. So Lost did
for better or worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lost did a lot for TV though.
They said, what was it? It brought the big screen to the small,
big screen to the small screen.
Or silver screen.
What, I don't know how it goes, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Do you remember I actually started changing my work schedule around for when Lost was airing?
Which it was jumping around. It was on like Thursdays, then it was on Wednesdays, then they changed it to like Saturday or something.
Yeah, and when they did that, it screwed up my whole work schedule. Because you wouldn't wait for me to watch it.
No,
you would watch it, and I was like, no, I want to see it too. I'd be so jealous.
With Game of Thrones, I could wait, even though it's the finale.
Right.
If you were like busy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Not a problem.
No.
The excitement value is non-existent anymore.
But Lost, I was hooked, and never stopped being hooked until season 6, episode 1.
Episode 1 of season 6?
Yes. I saw the change in the show right away. I think it's a Kate episode, too. Kate or Jack, one of not my favorite characters. Although I really like Jack now.
Yeah,
I like his story arc.
But I think Kate is pretty consistently one of our least favorite characters of that show.
Yeah. Yeah. So, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character is Benjamin Linus.
Mm-hmm. And mine is his opposite, John Locke.
Yep.
And my second favorite is Benjamin Linus.
Yeah, my second favorite is John Locke. That's funny.
And my third favorite is Sawyer. And yours is Desmond.
Desmond.
I'll just say it.
Yep. Yeah, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a time traveler, man. How can you not like Desmond?
And you like his face.
And he's sexy.
What's your favorite episode, would you say?
Oh, man, you're just coming out with the hard questions
right All right, well, let's talk. Should we generally talk about what Lost is about?
Oh, yeah, I guess if people don't
crashed
know.
on an island. They're lost. They're all lost souls. Magic happens on the island. There's spoilers in this.
Yeah, it's sci-fi. Yeah, let's just say spoilers.
It's sci-fi, fantasy, drama, action, comedy. It's all those things.
It's everything.
Like Everybody Loves Hugo is a comedy episode.
Right.
Mostly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's almost always kind of drama, just because of the situations that they're dealing with. But yeah, they've got the lightheartedness in there, and then they've got those very cerebral episodes. I thought.
Cerebral.
Like makes you think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just as far as what's life about, and of course, you're always trying to, it was a big mystery show also, just trying to figure out what the island was and what the Dharma Initiative was, and
How
what their
did polar
goals
bears
were.
get here is one of the earliest questions.
Right.
And what's the
her-
monster?
Right, the monster sounded like a T-Rex.
Yeah, I thought it was a dinosaur.
Well,
But I don't think they knew what it was yet. That is a thing with Lost. I think that some of it they were coming up with as they went.
yeah, we've looked into some of it, and it definitely seems to me that even though they kept saying over and over again that they always knew where they were going with it, towards the end it seemed like that they were just listening to some of the most popular fan
Well, actually,
theories.
they were saying that no fan had gotten it right.
Okay. And then, well, that was inaccurate.
Yeah. It's not that they were in purgatory, though,
No,
but it's pretty close.
with the flash sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, I think that was sort of.
Yeah, it
Purgatory.
wasn't. Yeah, it kind of was. It was. It, like you said, it wasn't exactly purgatory, because kind of. I mean, God, I'm not super religious, but doesn't purgatory kind of have these connotations of being more like you've done something bad, or
Yeah.
yeah,
You're in the middle.
and this is just more. They're just waiting for when everybody's ready,
You're
because they're all
in
connected.
penumbra.
Penumbra.
Penumbra. So they crashed the island, and John Locke didn't have. Well, you don't learn this until episode 4.
Well, he didn't even, the actor there didn't even know
Yeah,
at
that's right.
first that he was supposed
Terry
to be
O'Quinn.
Terry O'Quinn. Yeah, didn't even know when he was doing those scenes that
Captain
he
of the Pegasus.
was. Yes. That he, and also John Hughes, right? No, not John Hughes. Gosh darn it,
John Hughes.
forget it.
What?
From The Rocketeer. What's
Oh, yeah, he's John Hughes.
Is it John Hughes?
Yeah.
I got that name right?
Yes.
Good God. But yeah, he didn't even know that he was supposed to have been in a wheelchair and not able to walk.
Right. Yep. They didn't want any leaks because it was so mysterious.
Yep.
So many twists and turns. Yeah, and he realizes that he can walk on the island. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so right from the beginning, yeah,
That's-
he's the man of faith. He believes.
Yeah.
He's always searching for the meaning and like his purpose, and he believes that he's special because of what happened, and
Don't tell me what I can't do! And then Jack is the man of science.
yeah, and he's there on the plane because he is picking up his father's dead body
Yeah.
and bringing him home for burial, and of course he's got back history with his dad. They didn't get on very well. His dad never seemed to really believe in him.
Mm. No.
He wasn't a very good dad.
He was drug user
Well, he was an
as he was
alcoholic. and-
operating.
Yep, an alcoholic. He had a second family
Yep.
in Australia, which is why he was there.
Which is another character,
yeah,
Claire. I guess, which full spoilers.
Yeah,
Just
it's-
screw it.
It's well, we're just saying like how we loved it so much. And
Yeah.
just-
How
well,
much you get into it.
this is kind of us just washing down Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because we've been watching that.
And I can't watch Lost again. Not for a while.
No, we've at least once a year since
Yeah.
it came out.
Since it finished. Yeah. We didn't buy season 6 DVDs. So we had to buy them later. That we had to buy the Blu-rays because they were cheaper.
Yeah.
The DVDs are really expensive now.
Doesn't match our set.
No, because we didn't like season 6. I actually would watch 1 to 5 and not 6, and then started watching 6, and then was like, it was pretty good too.
Yeah, well, really fell in love with it.
Mhm.
By now.
Some of the flashbacks are as interesting as the island. The island's definitely the best part.
Yeah, well, that's part of why we wanted to talk about Lost, is because we were talking about Game of Thrones and the lack of fantasy. that it has at this point when it's ending. And just how much more mystery and fantasy elements and magic elements that Lost kept consistently throughout its story with time travel and...
Just the effects are kind of better because they mean more. Like when they show the island under the water.
Right.
And the shark goes by and
right,
it's got the Dharma
stamp on it, yep.
And it shows that the island has been flooded.
Yep.
And as though it worked, but then they're still on the island.
Is that the same shot where it's got the statue with the 4 toes under the water still, or? I don't remember.
Not that specific. Lost compared to Game of Thrones would be a good... Lost, how about Lost Season 6 compared to Game of Thrones Season 8?
Okay. Well, again...
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Some people, I guess, it doesn't really make sense to, but... The idea that they all have to come together, they need to wake each other up from the sideways so that they can all meet at the church. And
makes me cry.
Makes me cry. So many parts of that make me cry.
Greatest hits.
Oh, that's your favorite episode, right?
No.
No?
I don't know what is.
Yeah, see, I told you that was a hard question. But yeah, it makes you cry is what you're saying.
More like when Charlie dies makes me cry.
Yeah. And I always lose it with when Penny and Desmond finally connect.
I think Greatest
phone.
Hits does. Oh yeah, yeah. I made sure you knew how good that scene was. But yeah, that whole dialogue between them.
Oh, and it's so quick.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas, and they have this limited amount of time when they're talking to each other, and all she's been doing this entire time is looking for him.
Yep. She's Widmore's daughter.
I'm a sucker for love, man.
And that show does it really well.
It does. I mean, that's what season 6 is all about.
It breaks your heart when Libby dies.
Yes.
It breaks Hurley's heart.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you know they did that? We thought they did it because nobody would give a crap that they killed Ana Lucia. And so they had to kill Libby too, just to make it effective at all.
Right.
Because Michael shoots them both. And we thought, oh, good, kill that bitch. But then he kills Libby, and we're like, no!
No, not Libby.
She was going to get the blankets.
They were having a picnic.
Hurley forgot the blankets.
He ended up back up in the mental institution.
Yeah. And he was seeing the ghosts of people of the island.
Yeah, that had passed.
Yeah.
Thought he was crazy.
And the Haitian. And Ben.
Yep. Yeah, you know how I said Kate is, like, my least favorite character? I might have said one of. I like Saeed even less.
Oh, yeah.
Saeed, I never really got behind. Especially, like I even just said, I'm a sucker for love. And then he always had Nadia.
Yes.
Yeah, from his past. That was supposed to be his one true love. And then he has this whole relationship with Shannon. And that's who he's in the church with at the end. And so Saeed's story, it's weak. Yeah. Not that Naveen Andrews there wasn't a good actor or anything. Yeah. He did great with the role. It just
he's British in real life.
That's right. Yeah, but his storyline was written kind of weak.
Oh, I like the shot where it's the end of the episode and it's showing Saeed walking down the beach, but you can see that it's the second take.
Right.
Because you can see his footprints go and then go back.
Yep.
So he's going again.
Should have raked that up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, little nitpicks.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just a beautiful show, too. I mean, especially on the island.
Sound.
It's shot on location in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. So it's just gorgeous.
The music.
Yeah,
the directing. Music. The characters. So Jack and John, they have a battle against each other, and that's really good. The man of science, man of faith.
Yep, when they're on the cliffside.
No.
No, you're not talking about the end one?
No.
Oh, you just mean throughout the whole series?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they're always playing each other.
John is like, they're both like alphas, leaders.
Yes. Yeah, there's a real struggle there.
Yeah, to the point where characters separate and they form groups later. And some go with John and some go with Jack.
Yeah, there's always a schism between the two of them.
But in the end, Jack understands him and tells faux John Locke. You'll what is it? You'll never be like them. You may wear his face, but you're nothing like John Locke.
Yeah. I'm talk about Benjamin Linus a little bit, just what an awesome character he is.
Bug
And
eye.
How, yeah, Bug Eyes. And how you get his whole story. You know, it's kind of split up throughout, but you get his backstory about, like, he had an alcoholic father.
Yeah, you get to see him as a kid.
Yep.
Yeah. And that actor was good, the little kid.
Yeah, he did Ben really well. But yeah, you get to see how messed up he was and how alone he was and out of place, and you totally understand why he wanted to become part of the others. Yeah, what'd you want to say?
That his dad was the only one brought to the island who was the janitor. Everyone else is like smart in their field, experts.
Yeah.
For Dharma,
Yep. He gets workman.
he gets workman. He's a janitor. Was it who gave Jack the workman when they went back in time?
The Sawyer.
Oh, yeah.
LaFleur.
Good.
LaFleur.
Good. Yep.
I think I might know my favorite episode now. I don't remember which one it's called, but it's the one where
Kimi.
with Kimi.
That's
and
probably
Benjamin,
my favorite.
He changed the rules. That is a damn good episode. I lost my shit
Yeah.
during that episode.
Yeah. Ben summons the smoke monster.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a gun. Like, they think that they have him prisoner. Ben is always one step ahead. Always.
That's why he's my favorite character. He's so smart and he's so broken too, though. But he doesn't, like, he's not evil.
Mm-mm.
Like, he's a villain,
Well.
but he's not. He's broken.
Yeah.
He's not evil. I don't think.
Until he murdered John.
Well, that was jealousy.
I know, he even said it.
Yep. Why him? What about me?
What about you?
Oh, boy.
So Ben becomes another. And that's through the time travel.
Yeah,
When
that's
Saeed
yep.
shoots him.
Yep. Because Saeed is trying to change time.
Yeah.
Change the future. So he tries to kill Ben.
And they bring him to the temple.
Yep.
Man, it's a really complicated show.
It is really complicated.
And they bring him back to life, but when you come back to life in the temple, it takes part of you, part of your soul. It changes you. You'll never be the same. And the man who shot him, Saeed, goes in the temple and it changes him. Because he's dying.
Yep. Yeah, Saeed changed drastically, though, compared... I mean, I guess Ben was a kid.
Right.
Still. And he was brought in... He was also, like, brought into the others and kind of raised with them. I mean, they... Was he there? He wasn't there with Widmore, right?
Oh.
When Widmore was
Yeah.
back... Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
I guess it has been a little bit since we watched it.
Well,
It's
he
just-
was a kid
Right.
when Widmore was a teenager.
Right.
So, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Or he was like 20, maybe, Widmore.
Couple of
in
different
his 20s.
timelines.
Yeah,
It's a little
yeah.
difficult to keep it all straight.
And then when John is saving John, because of the timelines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're literally jumping through time at one point. The island is skipping through time, and it's awesome. They're like going to World War II time where they've got M1 Garand's.
Yep.
They go back before anyone was on the island, I believe.
Right. We see Danielle
Mm-hmm.
there when her ship crashed.
Yeah, with Jin,
Yeah, that's Jim encounters her.
because
And
he
the infection she talks
had
about.
to jump out of the helicopter. No, that was Sawyer.
Jen got blasted off the boat.
Oh, yeah.
That's the helicopter took off, and
Yeah.
Jen got blasted off the boat, and then had to swim back to shore. And then when he got back to the island, it was not his island anymore.
No.
They also, that whole thing led up to the introduction of, well, not led up, but the introduction of Faraday is what I'm trying to say, which was also another great character.
Yep.
And he was the one trying to understand the science behind the time
Time.
jumps and
Mhm.
how to get to the island and
Who ended up being Widmore's son.
yep, because it all ended up connected. Like you said, there were unanswered questions, but so many of them were answered.
Yeah.
Especially if you were, if you really watched the show and paid attention.
And we just found that little 10-minute thing. I forget what it's called at the end.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called either.
Just keep talking.
There are just so many great characters in that show that makes it just carried it through. Like every season, it ended with a question. It was like they give you an answer and then throw 3 more questions at you.
It's called The New Man in Charge.
The new man. Oh, okay, right. It's a little.
We didn't even know it existed.
For way too long.
Yeah, and it answers a few more questions.
Yeah, it did. Like questions, like we had questions about Walt, and because we felt like, yeah, we knew he grew up, and like they said that he didn't really fit. Like he grew up so fast that he didn't. They kind of wrote him out a little bit.
But then it answers that.
But yeah, with the new man in charge, it kind of answered some of that and brought some closure to the whole Walt storyline, which we appreciated.
Speaking of Walt, I really like John when Boone is like right under him. He's helping Boone. And John has all these amazing lessons. The butterfly, the moth. The moth.
Yep.
Michelangelo. I'm working.
Yep.
It's just staring at the block.
The dog that came back to his mom after his sister had passed away.
Yeah. And there's more.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's there's a lot more.
He's quite the philosopher. And then Walt is looking. Walt has a dad. Well, you already watched Lost probably if you're listening.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, I hope to God you've watched Lost.
Or pause now and just watch it. Walt, it's probably a little. Nah, it's not too late. There's a lot to it. Walt starts following John also because John is more of a father than his father is to him. Michael, he's kind of a crappy character, but he evolves too. But John's teaching him how to throw knives and all that.
Yeah, Michael was kind of set up to be a character that you found pathetic. Just, he was a selfish character who he didn't want to get in with like any clique, or he was always just out for himself and his son.
Yeah.
And it was always about him and his son.
He didn't have a best friend on the island.
No, the closest he came was maybe like son. Well, they kind of teased at a relationship there, but I feel like that was just kind of added drama between
him and son. He knew she could speak English.
And to create a
he saw her
divide
boobs.
between. Yes, he did. And create a divide between Sun and Jin. Not that they didn't have enough on their plate with their whole backstory.
Yeah. I was thinking with John, he also helped Boone get over Shannon.
Yep.
Through another lesson.
Right.
Where he drugged him.
Yeah.
So John and Boone are enemies. Or not, cut that.
I'm like, what?
No, or just leave all that, but that's not true. John and Ben are enemies.
Yes.
Very much so.
Well, because the whole idea, what it
Henry Gale.
eventually becomes clear, is that Jacob, who is the guardian of the island, is looking for a replacement for somebody to guard the secrets of the island, because they treat it like the island is, they even explain like it's the cork that's keeping, pretty much, to just make it really basic, it's keeping hell from leaking out into our world. And so it needs a guardian. And and Ben has always believed in the island. He killed his own father and his whole community in order to prove himself.
But Jacob will not talk to him.
No, because he's not the man. He's the fact that you would do stuff like that is you're already tainted, you know?
Well, Jacob tells him that he always had hope for him.
Yeah, he does.
But that's after he's stabbed.
Yeah.
Because Ben kills him.
Yeah. Well, the man in black gets Ben to kill him.
Right.
Yeah. Because the man in black couldn't do it.
Oh, that was... Okay, here's a bad part of Lost. Those trained people that are there to... What? Oh, protect... Jacob's protectors.
Yes.
Alara.
Okay, yeah.
And,
I didn't
and her
remember
little
her name,
cronies.
but yes, yeah.
And they all get slaughtered by the smoke monster.
Yeah.
Who is the man in black.
Who is the man in black, yep.
We haven't even brought up Richard Alpert.
Yeah, and he had a great episode.
Yeah.
as far as just showing how he became or came to be on the island. And
He's from like 1800s Spain.
yeah, Spaniard, and he was in chains
Yeah.
because he killed a priest
On accident.
on accident, trying to get medicine for his dying wife.
So he got convicted and sent to a galley of slaves that crashed on the island.
Yep. And he was the only survivor. Well, if there were any other survivors, the smoke monster killed them. I don't know why exactly he picked Albert, but
Well, he wasn't all bad.
yeah, he just wanted off the island.
Yeah.
He was trapped. Their mother,
Their crazy, their real mother got murdered.
yeah, because she was somebody who had shipwrecked.
Yep.
And that was like the original people that were on the island.
So who do
during
you
that.
think his mother, the evil woman that raised them, who do you think she was?
Well, she was the original guardian, and I think she even says something about like how long she's been there and how alone she's been and stuff. But she needed a replacement too, so she took that opportunity when she found the pregnant woman.
But if she's lonely, she murdered the pregnant woman after she gave birth. And then she murdered all those people that crashed on the island.
Yeah, well, because I think, like you said, crazy. I think she went crazy because obviously the guardians are always a human, a mortal
Right.
person who are then given the gift of the island. Like, I just assume there were guardians before her somehow. I don't know. They don't go back that far
No.
to let you know how long she's been there, but I think she does say that, like, it's been, you can just say forever that she's been there
By herself.
by herself on the island until that boat shipwrecked. And so, yeah, I think that she killed the mother because she needs a new guardian. So she was gonna raise the son. Well, she didn't know it was twins also in the beginning. But then she was gonna raise them to be the guardian, so that they were only loyal to her and only loyal to the island, and had no connections with the mortal world, which she had so little interaction. I think that was something that Jacob came to understand, was that the guardian needed compassion and needed empathy for man.
But Jacob doesn't help anyone.
Yeah, he helps people, but only insofar as for his own means.
I think maybe he does because the man in black was Jack's father on the island.
Yes.
He took the corpse because Jack was transporting his father's
Christian, yeah.
Christian shepherd.
Yes.
And so he becomes him and leads Jack to the caves where his body and his mom's body are. Crazy mom.
Yep.
They're skeletons.
The Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, our very own Adam and Eve. But Kate sees a horse. He couldn't have been the horse. That might have been Jacob.
Yeah, there's definitely times when the visions are, you have to kind of realize who is who.
It all comes around. Or it'll come around. What one is it? That was the boar episode, right?
I
When
don't.
Sawyer's pissed and
I
wants to
can't
kill
remember
that boar because it
specifically
pissed
some
on
of
his
Oh yeah.
clothes.
Pissed on his clothes. Had it out for him.
Sawyer, now he changed a lot.
Yeah, and in a good way
Mhm.
though. Yeah, oh my god.
At first, he was just stealing everybody's stuff,
Yeah, he was just the con man who was just out for himself.
stealing shit off the plane, stealing from other people.
Yep.
He stole the medicine,
Yeah, still yeah.
wouldn't let him have it. Getting in fights with Saeed because he was being racist,
Yep.
thinking he bombed the plane, and that's why they crashed. The plane, which crashed because Desmond didn't put the code in.
But yep, and the hatch didn't put the code in. So it created that electromagnetic outburst that caused the plane crash and brought them all here. But Jacob was trying to get them there anyway, so did he know Desmond wasn't going to put the code in?
I guess.
There are still some questions. It's just there's so much that to try to connect it all is literally, I think, impossible.
Yeah, I don't think the writers could.
Right? Well,
Oh, we should have said that in the Game of Thrones one. Well, if somebody's listening to both, Game of Thrones, at the end of each episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones, they like to have the Dumb and Dumber talk, and one of them, or both of them, they keep saying, "I think that."
Oh yeah.
I think.
It's like I think you think. I thought you wrote it.
Yeah. I think by now Daenerys is been through a lot. Like, you mean Daenerys has been through a lot? Whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Where are we?
All over the place.
That's fine. John and the Hatch, and then the Hatch gives light,
Yeah.
giving him hope.
Yeah, he's like he's losing it there at the end of that episode. Like, I've done everything you asked of me.
Yeah.
Type. Yeah. And then that light comes on. It's Desmond in there, and you get a whole nother page revealed of the story. Just more questions. Like I said, one answer and about 3 more questions pop up.
The Hurley-birds. But yeah, the Hatch and the buttons, and man, it's good.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Locke believing in the Hatch, needing to push the buttons, Desmond giving up on it, to the point where John Locke then gives up on it, because he
Echo.
loses faith, because then Echo takes
Echo
over,
has faith.
won't let John not push the button. I mean, they see the hieroglyphs.
No, he lets John stop hitting the button. Echo starts hitting the button.
But doesn't John try to beat Echo up or...
John couldn't beat Echo
no, well,
up.
no, but I
He
thought
was
there
a
was a tussle.
warlord.
I thought there was a tussle.
He was an African warlord. That was one of the plot lines that just went off. Charlie and Echo were building a church.
Yeah, that's what he was doing right up until he found out about the Hatch, right? And then he just stopped with the church.
Yeah, they didn't finish it. Hurley was addicted to heroin, and John got him off it in the Moth episode.
Yep, helped him beat that.
Man, John was awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. My favorite character, Jon Snow, until now. John Locke.
Some good Johns out there.
1 or 2.
So we, God, we haven't talked about Juliet at all. Do you?
Yeah, sure. Ben.
Also a great character. She was brought in because she was into...
Babies couldn't be born on the island.
Yeah, babies can't be born on the
They
island
kept
for
dying
whatever reason.
and killing the host.
And killing the mothers.
The host.
The host.
And so they brought her in because they were trying to figure out how to not get the babies all dead and the moms. And
yeah, and she like, well, did she infiltrate with the group? How'd she get into the group? Well, she first was part of the Claire abduction. That was before she was in the group. And that's when they were trying to help Claire and giving Claire
was
the
Ethan,
vaccination.
too.
Yeah, and Ethan was involved in that.
Well, she loved, what was his name, Gordon?
Sounds right.
Yeah. She fell in love with a guy that worked at Dharma, and then Ben murdered him because he wanted her.
Yeah, sent him off to the tail section of the plane, because the plane split into 2 sections.
Right. But that's not when he murdered him.
Did he murder him? I thought that Ana Lucia...
Oh!
Yeah, Ana Lucia murdered Gordon.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. And then she
but
murdered
got
that
him
poor
killed.
innocent guy. God, Ana Lucia was horrible. She was such a bitch.
Oh, we were so happy when she got shot. And then, of course, like you said, then they followed it up with Libby, and we were like, no.
But she killed that one guy that was innocent.
Yeah.
He went to take a dump in the woods.
Yeah, don't remember. He wasn't, like, a big character or anything, right?
No, he was just in like 2 episodes or 1 episode.
Yeah,
but she
okay.
broke his neck. And then her flashback, she killed who the hell did she kill? She killed somebody when she was a cop.
Because she was pregnant and she got shot and it killed her baby, and that she went and just like executed the dude that had shot her, like outside, because she was a cop.
Okay.
So outside of the law, she just went and killed him.
Hi, yeah, crazy bitch.
Well, Sawyer would know about the rest of that.
Yeah. Sawyer banged a lot of girls.
Yeah, we got at least 3 that I can think of.
And
Oh, and
All
yeah,
the flashbacks.
and he has a child, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember her name either.
No.
But yeah, the other con woman.
But he banged a lot of the cons.
Yeah. Well, right. For yeah, the whole process to work was to get them to fall for him.
Remember, Terry O'Quinn said that his wife used to have a crush on Matt Damon, but now it's just Josh Holloway. Josh Holloway.
Yeah. Yeah, they asked him what he would take on a deserted island. It was his wife. Books.
No. Wouldn't his wife already be there?
Well, okay, I don't remember exactly how
Oh.
the question was worded.
He said he'd take a good book and Josh Holloway to distract his wife.
So that he could read. But yeah, I was talking about Juliet and just what a cool character she was, because she was totally used by Ben and manipulated by Ben to turn her back on him and become loyal to our characters, our main characters, and then got stuck there, and then a whole relationship builds between her and Sawyer.
Yep.
And they sold that really well for how quick of a turn that was.
Well, it had been a long time.
Yeah, it had been years, but like even just that one scene of them like living in the house together, they both did so well at selling that like they were actually in love and that it wasn't just a relationship of convenience.
I would argue that the acting in Lost is better than Game of Thrones.
Okay, generally, I think I have to agree. I mean, I can think of some amazing parts of Game of Thrones, but I'm very jaded now as far as Game of Thrones watching this end, season 8. I mean, that's why we're talking about Lost, because Lost, we love Lost, had some issues with Lost, and then it's just back to love. Absolutely love Lost as a story. And that's what I think is the most important thing about Lost, is that it is a solid story. And even though the plot might seem convoluted and everything, it's not necessarily about just that plot. I mean, the mysteries and everything are fun, and explain how people have changed and everything is certainly important. But the actual story of Lost is more about the evolution of all the characters and how they become attached to each other and how they need each other in the end in order to move on.
They become unlost.
Right, exactly.
They become found.
A bunch of lost souls who find their
themselves,
place.
yeah.
Yep. I'm all smiling and goosebumpy just thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, God, we could go on all day.
Mm-hmm. We could go on all day.
I think, I'm trying to think of my favorite episode. There's so many good ones. I'd have to look. I don't know. I could say greatest hits. It's certainly Charlie's best episode.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about Hurley.
Oh, I know, and he's got some great episodes too.
Yeah.
Like I love that episode with him convincing Sawyer that the people are going to be kicking him off the beach because of the things that he's done.
Yeah.
And he gets Sawyer to go out and hunt a boar and throw like a big luau for everybody, and it's all Hurley manipulation.
They weren't going to kick him out at all.
No.
Isn't it nice to do something, or isn't it, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't
do
feel,
something nice.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to do something nice. And of course, he ends up being the guardian in the end.
Hurley
does. Yeah. So, even though he seemed like he was just kind of the comic relief of the show for a long time, he was always just kind of a follower. He never had any issues with anybody. He was a super nice guy. Like, everybody loves Hugo.
Yeah.
But he was
Just checking.
jaded by the numbers, everything that happened with that. And he thought he was bad luck because he had all the bad luck happening to him after he won the lottery.
Using the numbers.
Yep, using the numbers. Then he fell in love with Libby. But yeah, Hurley never became evil, though. Or
Jaded.
yeah, I guess I'll just use that word. Not like other characters did. Not like pretty much anybody else that you could point to that were a potential candidate for becoming the guardian of the island. Hurley was always the most pure of heart. So it was so super satisfying for him to be the guardian in the end. And that he had Ben stay.
Yeah, as his number one.
As his number one. Oh, you made a great number one.
Anything else?
No.
The eye thing.
The eye?
They had a thing for eyes in the show, didn't they?
Oh, always the close-up
Yeah.
on the eyes. Yeah, well, the directing of the show was fantastic. I mean, they said they knew that they were going to do it, and they nailed it with that opening shot of Jack opening his eye to the closing shot of Jack closing his eye. The plane flies overhead.
Vincent.
Everybody's rescued. Yeah, and Vincent is with him.
I think that's a dog, for anyone.
Just so well done. So I know there's been a whole bunch of spoilers in here. We've just done nothing but gush love about Lost. But if you made it this far and you haven't watched Lost, just watch Lost and keep an open mind, and chances are you'll really enjoy it. If you've watched Lost before and you had issues with the ending, or you haven't watched it in a long time, maybe go back and rewatch it and just try to keep an open mind and look at it.
Remember,
through
you were
different
probably
eyes.
really into it
Right.
when you were watching it the first time.
Right.
And there's no way you can remember everything that happened.
Yep. Watch it.
All right.
All right, that's us. Till next time.
Thanks for listening, and goodbye.